What if you became rich, built an enormous mansion, and threw the most spectacular parties in New York, all to win back one person? In the summer of 1922, Jay Gatsby appears to possess everything: wealth, influence, mystery, and a mansion filled with guests. But every night, Gatsby stands alone beside the water, reaching toward a distant green light. That light belongs to Daisy Buchanan, the woman Gatsby loves, and the dream around which he has built his entire life. This is not merely a love story. It is a warning about what happens when hope becomes an obsession and the past becomes more valuable than reality. The story is narrated by Nick Carraway, a young Midwesterner who moves to West Egg, Long Island, hoping to begin a career in finance. West Egg is home to the newly wealthy, including Nick's mysterious neighbor, Gatsby. Across the bay lies East Egg, where inherited fortunes provide social status that money alone cannot purchase. Nick visits his cousin Daisy, who lives there with her powerful husband, Tom Buchanan. Daisy is charming, but restless. Tom is arrogant, controlling, and openly unfaithful. Their beautiful home appears perfect, yet Nick immediately senses the unhappiness beneath its polished surface. He also meets Jordan Baker, whose cool detachment introduces him to the carelessness of this privileged world. Between Long Island and Manhattan lies the Valley of Ashes, an industrial wasteland covered in gray dust. This forgotten place exposes the human cost hidden beneath the glamour of the Jazz Age. George Wilson operates a struggling garage there with his wife, Myrtle. Myrtle desperately wants to escape poverty. She is also Tom's secret lover. Tom brings Nick to a Manhattan apartment where he entertains Myrtle and several guests. The gathering becomes loud, artificial, and increasingly cruel. When Myrtle repeatedly mentions Daisy, Tom strikes her. The moment reveals the truth behind Tom's confidence. He uses wealth and power to control others, while accepting no limits for himself. Every weekend, Gatsby's mansion becomes a glittering world of orchestras, fountains, dancers, and endless champagne. Hundreds attend, although few have met their host. Rumors spread that Gatsby was a spy, a criminal, or even a murderer. When Nick receives an actual invitation, he discovers Gatsby quietly observing the celebration. Gatsby is courteous, hopeful, and unexpectedly vulnerable. But Gatsby does not throw these parties simply for pleasure. He hopes Daisy might someday wander into one. The symbol you may have missed. Across the bay, the green light represents Daisy, but it also represents every future we imagine will finally make us complete. Gatsby can see it, but distance and time keep it beyond his grasp. Gatsby asks Nick to arrange a private meeting with Daisy. At Nick's small cottage, the usually confident Gatsby becomes nervous. When Daisy arrives, their first moments are painfully awkward. Then, the years between them seem to disappear. Gatsby takes Daisy through his mansion, displaying its rooms, gardens, and luxurious possessions. Daisy becomes overwhelmed when she sees his collection of beautiful shirts. But she is not simply reacting to clothing. She is confronting the life Gatsby created for her and the years they lost. The choice that changed everything. Gatsby chooses to believe the past can be restored exactly as it was. He does not merely want Daisy's love. He wants her to erase her marriage, reject the intervening years, and confirm that she has always loved only him. Gatsby was born James Gatz, the son of poor farmers. As a young man, he rejected that identity and invented Jay Gatsby, wealthy, refined, and destined for greatness. Before the war, he met Daisy. She represented beauty, security, and the privileged world from which he felt excluded. Gatsby loved her, but he also transformed her into proof that he had escaped his past. While Gatsby was away at war, Daisy married Tom. Gatsby later accumulated wealth through questionable business connections, purchased a mansion across from her home, and constructed his entire world around their reunion. His dream gives him purpose, but it is dangerous because the real Daisy can never equal the flawless person he preserved in his imagination. During a suffocating summer afternoon, Gatsby, Daisy, Nick, Jordan, and Tom travel to Manhattan. Inside a hotel suite, Tom confronts Gatsby about the affair. Gatsby demands that Daisy tell Tom she never loved him. But Daisy cannot do it. She admits that she loves Gatsby, yet she also once loved Tom. This destroys Gatsby's carefully constructed dream. He imagined one perfect declaration would remove 5 years of history. Instead, Daisy reveals that human feelings are complicated and that the past cannot simply be rewritten. What the author wants us to notice: Gatsby and Tom appear to be rivals, but they are not equal. Gatsby's money cannot give him Tom's inherited position. When danger arrives, Tom and Daisy can retreat behind their wealth, while other people absorb the consequences. Daisy drives Gatsby's yellow automobile back toward Long Island, while Gatsby sits beside her. In the Valley of Ashes, Myrtle sees the approaching vehicle. Believing Tom may be inside, she runs into the road. Daisy strikes her and continues driving. Myrtle dies, but Gatsby decides to accept responsibility to protect Daisy. He waits outside Daisy's home that night, convinced she may still leave with him. Inside, however, Daisy and Tom quietly reunite. Their shared privilege creates a shelter Gatsby cannot enter. The green light is no longer a distant promise. Gatsby has reached Daisy, but reaching the dream has revealed that it was never what he imagined. George Wilson is devastated by Myrtle's death. Tom leads him to believe that Gatsby owned and drove the automobile. Consumed by grief, George travels to Gatsby's mansion. He finds Gatsby floating in his swimming pool, still waiting for Daisy to call. George kills Gatsby and then takes his own life. The man who filled his estate with music, lights, and hundreds of guests dies almost completely alone. Daisy never calls. She and Tom leave without giving Nick an address. Once again, their wealth allows them to create destruction and disappear before facing the consequences. Nick tries to gather Gatsby's friends for the funeral, but the party guests vanish. Business associates make excuses. Daisy sends neither a message nor flowers. Only a few people attend, including Gatsby's father, who still treasures evidence of his son's youthful ambition. Nick becomes disgusted with the East. He realizes that Gatsby, despite his crimes and illusions, possessed something the others lacked: an extraordinary ability to hope. Tom and Daisy break people and things, then retreat into their money. Gatsby loses everything because he believes completely in a dream that never truly existed. The green light represents the future we continuously pursue. The Valley of Ashes represents those forgotten beneath wealth and progress. The enormous watching eyes above the valley suggest a society searching for moral judgment, but finding only an advertisement. Gatsby's tragedy is not that he dreamed. It is that he attached his entire identity to one perfect outcome and refused to let reality revise it. Why does this story still matter today? We still construct ideal lives, compare ourselves with carefully displayed success, and believe the next achievement will finally complete us. Like Gatsby, we can become so focused on an imagined future that we stop seeing the people and truth directly before us. One question to consider while reading: is Gatsby admirable because he refuses to surrender his dream, or tragic because he never learns to release it? The Great Gatsby invites us to hope, but it also warns us not to confuse hope with denial. Read the novel and decide for yourself. Was Gatsby's greatest strength also his fatal weakness?